I'll now hand over to Anne, who will briefly wrap up. Slightly abbreviated program now, just so everyone can still have a bit of a break before then at 6:30 the remote speed mentoring starts for some of you. Okay, thank you, Anne. You can take over.
Great. Okay. So what I really want to do in wrapping up is leave you with some actions to take away, because I hope you've had a really interesting afternoon. I hope you've taken away loads of ideas. But now the real question is, what are you going to do with it? And I would say, in summing up, that leadership opportunities can come in these 3 different forms that you see on the screen. So there are those opportunities that already exist, whereby you can stretch your leadership and flex your leadership style, opportunities that you may need to recognize. So lots of you've talked about those already. So you've got team meetings, you've got client meetings, you've got coffee mornings with your team online. So lots of different opportunities where you can really lead people. Then there are opportunities that you need to react to and respond to that just come your way. So what are some of those things that pop up? I mean, coronavirus is a great example of that. You know, how are people responding from a leadership point of view to all of the challenges that are arising? So being reflective and being deliberate and using your ABCD model and really responding to some of those. But then there are also going to be leadership opportunities that you need to create. So over the next week, month, specifically between now and when we all get together again, and I hope you come back and join us again in May, what are the opportunities that you can create where you can really showcase your leadership, you can really support people, and you can really practice some of what we talked about today. So I guess, what are the leadership opportunities that you can create, that you can seize, and really we want you to think about what actions you're going to take between now and our next session to really enhance your leadership style, based on everything I've said, based on everything the other speakers have said today, and based on the ideas that have been coming through on the comments. Now, one thing we'd really like to ask you to do when we wrap up, and this is the very last slide you're hearing from me this time, I'm going to hand over to Gesine in a moment to wrap up, but we would really like you to spend a minute or two reconnecting to your Google Hangout at the end, just so that you could swap contact details. I mean, during these difficult times, it would be really fantastic if you had that support from each other, and as you kind of put together and implement your action plans over the next weeks and months, that you have other people from other practices that you can support each other. Because of GDPR, we can't send you everybody else's details. That would be very irresponsible of us to do that. So we would like you to do that yourselves. So after Gesine speaks now, please do consider popping back on Google Hangout very briefly and swapping contact details with those that you were with. I would like to send a massive thank you for bearing with us and for listening and for getting involved, sending your comments by chat and interacting with us. And hopefully we will see you again in May. Gesine.
Hello, everyone. So really just a very, very brief final comment from myself. Really to thank everyone, all our speakers, and I think really specifically, especially Anne, massive thank you, Anne, for holding it all together and doing a fantastic job juggling comments and presentations. So really thank you so much. I would just like to say we will be sending out a feedback survey, I think tomorrow, which we would really, really appreciate hearing from you. As you know, this has been a bit of an experimental format today, so it would be really helpful to know what worked and what we could do differently. And then, yeah, as Anne said, so the 7th May is still in the diary, as is the 1st of July. We fully intend to just, run our program, whether now online again or live, depending on how the situation develops, but it will take place. I think finally now, for those of you who've signed on to the speed mentoring, starting from 6:30, you now have just about nearly half an hour for another break. And then do please connect to your mentors. Tom has sent out emails to everyone with the links and contact information and your dance cards, who you will be speaking with. So I really, really hope that will be successful. I hope you all manage to find each other in the big wide internet. And again, also do send us your feedback on how that went. So, and yeah, thank you very much for being with us today. And we'll see you next time. Thank you.